with the Texas Examiner. We have a few folks here we want to visit with that has some information about what's going on here tonight, why folks are gathering, and what the ultimate goal of this convoy is. So, sir, if you don't mind, if you just tell us a little bit about you, what your name is, where you're from, why you're here, and what you expect to happen here this evening.
Sure. Well, my name is Robert Agee. I am one of the organizers for the Texas chapter of the Take Our Border Back convoy. We're here in Dripping Springs. Convoy's on its way. It left Baton Rouge this morning. It's a couple hours out. We're going to receive them here. It's been amazing to be able to work with the city of Dripping Springs. They've been very easy to work with, and they are really looking forward to receiving all of us here. We are at the Veterans Memorial Park. We're gonna gather here tonight and just have a time of fellowship. Tomorrow we're going to go to Colonel Phil Waldron's One Shot. We're gonna have a pep rally. We got several speakers coming out there tomorrow to voice their concerns with everything border issue, in addition to their appreciation for what Governor Abbott and Ken Paxton are doing right now to ensure the security of the people here in Texas. So, after that pep rally on Thursday, we're going to be heading down to Cumado Friday morning. We're going to be arriving at a private ranch. It's called Cornerstone Children's Ranch. This place is it's a place where the children of Texas need a place to go. They need a place of refuge. And they lost that when the pandemic happened. They lost that when the shutdowns took place. And they pretty much lost everything.
Right.
And when that took, in addition to being shut down, you have all these illegals coming across the border right now, and they are literally raiding their food pantries. They are taking their property. And so what we're doing is we're going down to this ranch. We're going to support them. We're going to fundraise to get them back up on their feet so they can get back in position to receive the children that need to be rescued and to receive the women that are needing care. So we're going down there this is essentially going to be a prayer visual. We are calling upon the name of the Lord to fight this battle for us, because really that's where the battle lies. The battle belongs to the Lord. So we're going down there. It's going to be a huge element of revival. We're going to have different speakers from all over the nation that are flying in to be a part of this. We're going to use our First Amendment rights: freedom to assemble, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. And we're going to, it's going to be a redress of grievances, ultimately. One thing we're not doing, I just want to clear the air, we're not going to the border wall. We're not going to engage with law enforcement. We're not going to engage with those that are trying to cross over into this country. We're assembling together to make our voices heard and to call on the Lord to fight this battle. We have amazing people coming out like Ryan Zink, who's running for US Congress. And it's men like this, men that have been through the fire, those that have, you're a J6 defendant.
Yes.
Now you are someone who were there. You are peacefully attending, this protest. It was a redress of grievances that you were a part of. You were using your First Amendment rights, and they were stripped from you. But that's because you were in Washington D.C., right? The District of Columbia, a foreign territory where the Constitution doesn't apply. The Constitution does apply here in the state of Texas, and so. The mainstream media is putting out a narrative right now saying this is going to be another J6, stay home, don't be a part of this. And they're trying to get people to not get involved. And here's the thing, if you don't get involved, we've already lost. If you stay home out of fear and you don't take action in some way, and just assembling, right? If we can't gather together in prayer, in unity, we're done. That's it. I don't think it's going to be the issue. I do believe that's why they're putting out all this information. I don't know what this 700,000 vehicles is all about. I mean, that's like over half of all the vehicles or trucks, semis in the United States of America. Like that number is so beyond comprehension. That's not what's happening. But the number that is coming is going to be the perfect number, because this is a movement of God. This isn't, just, a few of us that got together and said, hey, you know what, we should do a convoy. We should go down the border. This began by, a gentleman, Mark Anthony. He's kind of funny. None of us were planning on doing this. He said, hey, I felt the Holy Spirit come on me, and out of my mouth came convoy. February 3rd. He's like, I'm just wanting to test that spirit, and the first person I thought of was you. I was like, I need to call you. You're down in Texas, and what do you think about that? I was like, well, that's a great mission. It's an honorable thing to be a part of, but is it my mission? And as I, presented to the Lord, I told him I need to pray about it, and the Lord confirmed it many times over that I was supposed to be involved in this. And I said, okay, all right. I started making some phone calls, and sure enough, doors they flew wide open. And so here we are today, and the point I'm trying to make is this wasn't something that any individual, any part of the steering committee, whether there's 6 of us on this steering committee, all of us are seeking the Lord. We're trying to align with the Spirit. Like, what do you want us to do? Because that's the most important thing. We have great ideas on our own, but the ideas that we have will fall short if they don't align with the Lord and what His purpose and mission is for that providential timing. It's all about timing. It's all about exactly how we're supposed to follow those instructions. Just like Gideon's army, right? They took the best men, the 300 best men, Gideon's best men, and they said, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take these clay pots, and I want you to take these candles and light them, and you're going to stick them underneath these clay pots. And I'm sure these guys are like, what are you talking about? Like, we're warriors. We're ready to go into battle. But because they were honorable, because they followed the specific instructions, when they broke those pots and those lights came on and it shined light over that darkness of that valley in the enemy's camp, they panicked. They didn't know what to do. And they ended up turning on each other, and they defeated themselves. So Gideon's army, all they had to do was walk in and reap the plunder of victory. That's what we're calling on. As a peaceful assembly, we're calling on the Lord to fight this battle and to end the human trafficking, to end the fentanyl and the other substances that are coming into our country, killing children, killing loved ones. We're calling for the end of people coming into this country that want to do harm. We don't know. We got to vet them, right? We all lock our doors, and we vet who comes into our home, and that's what we're calling for here.
So it's interesting. I'm sure you're aware that down on Eagle Pass, the area that has been blocked off, the park, roughly it's about a 2-mile stretch. And our reports that we've received from folks down in that area that are familiar with what's going on right now as I'm standing here is that on either side of that 2-mile stretch, the border's wide open.
Yeah.
And anybody who really wants to come into the country undetected with nefarious ideas or machinations can do so on either side of that 2-mile stretch. So the question is, why are these immigrants, in your opinion, why are they showing up, this caravan, in brand new clothes, brand new shoes, brand new cell phones? None of them look like they've been hurting for a meal for any longer than 12 hours. How do you explain that, and why are they concentrated specifically on that 2-mile stretch?
Yeah, well, those are the questions that deserve answers. I believe it's obvious. I think we all know what's happening. We're in a spiritual war right now. We're in a war for the future of this nation. This nation is destined for great things. And I believe the enemy knows that, and he's doing everything that he can to try to get in front of that. And every time he does that, he ends up falling into the pit that he dug for us, doesn't he? He ends up cutting off his own leg. And here's the thing. We love immigrants. This whole nation has been founded on immigrants. It's not about the people. It's about law and order.
Now, there are some folks that would say that the numbers that we're experiencing now are really not any higher than what we've experienced at any other point in history, as long as we've been manning the border like we do today. That the numbers are inflated, that we're getting misrepresented numbers from the media. So there are those that believe that this is somewhat of an event, if you will, especially in an election year. And now you have the governor of Texas, the mainstream media pitting him against the president of the United States, and we're faced with what a lot of people may consider to be, this could be the straw that broke the camel's back. So you can understand why folks that aren't familiar, that don't take the time to come out here and visit with people like you to find out what's going on, they think that, it could be the end of the world because we're letting so many people in. But are we really? Maybe the Border Patrol isn't being resourced properly. Maybe this whole issue could have been avoided, but yet here we are today having this conversation, and God-fearing Texans and Americans are standing up, for what they think is the right thing to do. But could there be some element of mistruth that's brought us all to this point today for somebody to push a bigger agenda?
I would defer you to Lieutenant Colonel Pete Chambers, Doc Pete Chambers. You can go to drpetechambers.com and learn more about him. He's down at Eagle Pass. He spends a lot of time down there. He's right here from Dripping Springs. And what he witnesses down there with what the federal government's doing through the Border Patrol agency is exactly what's being reported.
Right.
They're cutting the razor wire. They're letting people in.
Okay.
They are forcibly, we have constitutional rights. There's Article 4, Section 4, right? And in there it says that the federal government must protect the states, against invasion. They must secure the states or ensure the security.
Governor Abbott signed the declaration today.
He addressed it. He's addressed it. But it's not. It's definitely not. I mean, we've been dealing with this for a long time. This isn't about the past 6 months, the past year, the past 4, 8. This has been going on for decades, and it really appears to be an agenda by the federal government. Why? Why is the question? Well, why are they pushing bills to allow illegal immigrants to vote? That's a big question. Is this a voting issue?
Right.
Who knows?
I think there's an argument that could be made for what's going on here today, for there being a bigger agenda, just simply because it is an election year. The only way we're going to know the truth is by getting out there and actually, looking at it and seeing it ourselves. And there's so much misinformation going on right now across social media. There are people getting out there that are saying that y'all are, going to show up, you're going to attack the border wall. And I know you addressed this earlier. You're going to, provoke a confrontation. And, honestly, I'm not sure if that won't happen anyway, just simply from the fact that people are human beings are humans, right? And so now you have a whole lot of people in this convoy getting together peacefully to address their concerns with the U.S. government. And I think a lot of these folks that are participating, and you can confirm this because you've been dealing with them, are fed up with the lack of transparency at local, state, and federal government. They feel like their concerns aren't being addressed. They feel like the economy has gone or turned to the worse, and so people are looking for answers. And I think that this is a culmination of a lot of other challenges that we're currently experiencing in the country, and today's flavor of the day is immigration.
Well, absolutely. And You know, they would love to spin it another direction. But, you know, once again, you know, anybody who branches from this particular convoy and decides to do whatever they do on their own is not part of this convoy.
So what our folks really need to know is that this is 100% peaceful. People are gathering in fellowship.
That's right.
They're praying for the country. They're praying for our leaders.
That's right.
Asking God to intervene.
That's right.
With the leadership of our country so that we can ensure the future for our children and our grandchildren. You're exercising your rights as an American.
Yeah, and we're doing it peacefully, and we're doing it in truth and honor with clean hands.
Right.
You know, the number one thing they would like us to do is to engage in a physical battle. But we're not fighting a physical war, we're fighting a spiritual war.
Amen.
And everyone that is at least part of this steering committee that has put this vision forth, and this vision didn't come from us, it came from God, was that is what this is what we're needing to do right now. It's 2 Chronicles 7:14, right? You know, if my people humble themselves and seek my face and, you know, turn from their wicked ways, you know, I will hear from heaven and I will heal their land. And that's what we need. We need a healing. But we need...
Sir?
My name is Ryan Zink.
Ryan, and you're running for Congressional District 19.
Yes.
Which basically covers, you telling me earlier,
From Freona, Texas, all the way down to Midland, Odessa, and over to Abilene.
Right. And you're from Lubbock, so you're a Red Raider?
I was a Red Raider.
Okay, right on. So why don't you tell everybody that is going to have the opportunity to see this, why you're running for Congress and what we can expect from you should you be elected.
So the main reason that I ran for Congress is working as a journalist, and I was working for my father who was running for Congress, and during the events of January 6th, I got tied up into it. I was protecting police officers on the East Porch. There were some rowdier people that were there, and I'm on video saying, you know, leave them alone. They're just doing their jobs. He's breaking the law. And despite my efforts to try to help the police that day, I was convicted. I'm looking at 22 points. I want to step up for the American people so that they can understand that while I was in that jail cell was the closest that I came to Jesus Christ. There is no other answer for our nation.
Hey, Bruce, Robert. Hey, I'm good, man. Are you guys getting close?
And the reason that I came down here was because I wanted to show support for my constituents, people, the voices.
45, man, y'all were supposed to arrive at 9:30 on the late. So now it's looking like 10:30? My goodness.
In their fight against the Biden regime to get the border closed. America is founded as a nation. And it is not people that are targeted in this attack, but it's the safety of the nation that has been separated. Because every other country in the world has a border, and yet ours is wide open. We've captured nearly 300 people who are on the terrorist watch.
Okay.
I'm slated as a domestic terrorist for being a journalist on January 6th, and yet we have real people who have intent to harm the United States of America that can just walk through our borders. And I wanted to come down so that I could pray for our country, pray for my beautiful state, the state of Texas.
All right, what? You're an RV. Okay, so I'm going to send you this other link to the RV spot. It's right up the way. Everyone's going to be staying there. There's a lady that's staying there extra late tonight to receive y'all. And they have showers. They have bathrooms. It's a great spot. City officials are involved. It's all good. It's going to be great for y'all.
We can stop corruption at even the smallest level of corruption, because I don't care what party you're from, if you're corrupt.
So if our folks, our viewers wanted to get in touch with you, or they wanted to support you financially on your campaign, how would they do that?
You can go to my website. It's ryanzink.vote.
Yes. Yeah. So as soon as y'all pull up here, I've got a megaphone, and I'll blast on that megaphone, and you can jump on it too, you know, whoever. But we'll explain that tomorrow morning we'll meet back in this parking lot at 10 a.m. for anybody that's going to Yuma. Good.
Because that's what we do here at the Texas Examiner, folks, is we hold our elected officials accountable. We're going to support the folks that do the same thing and believe the way that we believe. So, again, John, folks, this is John Tipton with the Texas Examiner. We'll come back later.
Hell yeah, we
examine. And thank y'all for joining us. We'll see you later.